Let me tell you, I've had a time. Finally, we're back. Okay. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of. Why is it so dark here? I'm in the middle of two light sources, by the way. I have one over there, and then another one over there. And they're two different things. Like one of them is fully white and it looks blinding to look at, actually. Another one is, dimmer and golden. Neither of which happen to intersect here. What is going on? My goodness. I might end up switching my position over to the table. Yeah. Switching my position for light. Don't know if you'll see me, but there's a chance you might. We'll see. For now we're here because I need to charge. That's why. Speaking of charging, there's also something else I wanted to charge. I can't see the chat right now, which means that I can't see what everyone's typing. It seems to still want to load. I'll grab my phone. I'll put it on my phone in a moment's time. But the thing I need to charge is not that, actually. So last time I streamed in this room, we had a little bit of an issue. By which I mean we had several issues, but they were all boiled down to the same thing. The connectivity was abysmal. And I said, I'm not going to go down to this basement anymore and record, even though I said I'm walking Wednesday today. However, actually, I found a solution. Because what the problem is this room is away from where we normally have our internet source, I think. However, our internet source is this little thing. That's right. This is the internet, as they say in the IT crowd. Yep, it's still going. So I don't know why the restream is not loading up the chat. It's loaded everything else. I have the descriptions ready. They processed the video in record time, actually, considering they've updated the interface again in the week since. So it seems like, or maybe they just didn't use it. I use it for the Aiden birthday quiz. Not really sure. But I've got this, and I promised that I was going to plug that in. So once my computer is at a decent level of charge, then I will, or at least I mean above 50% maybe, then I will move over to the light source, and I will plug in that internet source. And I will also load up the chats right now. Oh, my phone's at 5%. Yeah, I've had a time. I was going to stream this at the regular hour, but I had an email that I had to respond to, but I couldn't do it as Jacob Butt. I had to do it as myself, my real name. And that was a whole ordeal that took my dad and I an hour to figure out. So my email is now changed, basically. Yeah, that was a whole logistical nightmare. And then afterwards, I got a call from somebody who thought that my phone was this bar or something, like the person who owns a bar that I left a bag in, and so I don't know what was going on there. So yeah, tons of things have been going on, and none of them led to this moment. At least not very well. So yeah, I'm just going to bring up my phone. I'm going to say hi to people in the chat the way I normally do. Okay, so the birthday live stream. Oh, right, yeah, sorry, that was because I put that on screen by accident. I thought I'd set the wrong thumbnail because I did make one. Okay, so Johnny immediately says, hi guys, sorry about all the confusion from the last blast from the past. Well, Johnny, I'm sure this time will be entirely different. Because clearly, third time's the charm, as they say. They say in the US and UK. In Spain, they say there's no 2 without 3, which means you'll get the same results again. But yeah, I can already tell there's going to be more confusion this episode, Josh, says Johnny as well. Oh no, that's not good. KW says, "Yo, a Jacob stream." I hope you're not too disappointed by the nature of it. Okay. Ghost Kitty, this is going to be interesting. It strangely feels nice to have one of those streams again, especially because then with all the just loosely events I been put through recently, sort of recently. This episode is about a funeral, by the way, so hopefully that doesn't trigger anything from you. Let's see. Recovering a bit from the I was actually watching Madoka Magica. You watching Madoka Magica to recover from events that happen in your life? I haven't seen the show, but even I know that's not a good decision necessarily. It's like me thinking like, oh man, we're seeing all these like war reports. I'd take my mind off things. Here, I'll put on Saving Private Ryan. You don't do that. Anyway, let's see. Someone clicked the wrong. Okay, yeah, that was the thing before. That was about the wrong buttons. The power of the internet. Such a tiny box holds so much power. That's the thing from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, although I don't want to destroy this thing. That's the difference. I just see people say that the ring has a name. It is called the One Ring, even though it's not the only one of its kind. It's the one ring that was forged by the person who forged it. So I guess in that sense, it's the one. But yeah, people call it the One Ring. That's the thing. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so KW is clarifying that Ghost Kitty is talking about Maddie telling people Ghost Kitty is a stalker. That's what he's talking about. Well, since we bring up stalkers today, that leads me quite nicely as a segue into the video. Because today we are talking about Disco Pop's Blast from the Past, Gabriel's funeral. So what Johnny was referring to last time was that he was covering the events from the end of the season 4 finale, Miraculous Ladybug, but in the altered version that would partake in the Disco Pops universe. Which, if you read my unhinged ramblings in the description of this video, by the way, you will know exactly what the major problems are with that setup. And if you haven't read those yet, then go ahead. That's what it's there for. But needless to say, it raised significantly more questions than it did answers, and we will probably be covering some of those in a bit, because obviously this is a follow-up from that video. So now we're jumping from season 4 finale to season 5's finale. So there's always been a bit of confusion around about the nature of the death of Gabriel Agreste in the Disco Pops universe specifically, because in Disco Pops we kind of covered that. Well, I guess in Blues Pops, there's been a little bit of ways. In the Pops franchise, we've covered that one version had him dying in the sunken cruise that also separated all the Blues Pops. That major event of the series. I think there was another version where he died like the year before something happened in the other version of Pops, and then another one where he died a long time ago, but we don't really specify. So there are 3 different versions. I guess that's maybe one advantage of changing the time it was set, because if you remember from last episode, one thing they did, I will mention, is that Johnny moved the time that Strikeback was set to much, much later. So the main characters were already adults, they had their children, but yet the episode plays exactly the same way as it did before, which well, we've talked about it. It's been reviewed. Need to move on. So with that in mind, that means that I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, so I guess that's that one of the one positive of doing that, I guess, would be that it means that the version where Gabriel died the previous year that Disco Pops was set actually it retroactively makes slightly more sense. But again, there's so many hurdles to jump through to get to one specific point that it almost doesn't seem entirely worth it, potentially. That's kind of that. Let's see. Ghost Kitty says, "Listen, Mr. Barterman, I'd rather be traumatized for whatever Madoka Magica features than deal with one of more of Madison's lies and call that as a feature of the community post." Oh, okay. I completely forgot that actually. Quick question: how well do you handle fictional characters' deaths? Well, she's here watching Gabriel's funeral, so I think we're in safe territory in that regard. So let me just now that I've done a little bit of that, let me just change my setting. I unplugged my cable, and for some reason my camera decided to glitch. That's fantastic. So I'll plug in my phone, which I'm just realizing right now I can't see from over there. So I'll plug in my phone for right now, and then I'll cover a bit of the episode or the description, then I'll come back from my phone after it's charged a bit, and then continue to read the chat. God, this is a nightmare to deal with. Okay, let's move. I will also take the internet with me, because I can plug that in somewhere else. Yeah, it's because if I touch the cable, the camera doesn't like it. So yeah, you see there's a light source here. In fact, there you are. I'm under a lamp. Okay, and okay, the internet is plugged in. I just want to recover this. YouTube, if you or Twitch, this is apple juice, by the way. This is non-alcoholic. So, please don't demonetize me. Not that I would be, drinking illegally anyway, but just to set the record straight. I'm going to get a pillow for this chair. I require maximum comfort for this endeavor, because we know what we're in for. The creator himself has said there's going to be more confusion, which, oh boy. Okay, so time to... I'm just going to maximize this for right now. Let me just... and while I deal with that, and I change it back to a different background or something, I will put the description up. So here we... Oh, no, wrong one. Okay, here we go. So, notes on the Gabriel's funeral episode before watching. You might notice that Kim has a tiara instead of a crown, even though she was recently coronated as Queen of Clearshear. This and Strikeback sadness is taken place, or rather takes place, in a time of the original run that Kim hasn't got married yet. Okay, Jonny, you say it takes place in a time of the original run, but you then also shifted the time to significantly in the future. So that's take that with a huge grain of salt, audience. Okay, 2. This will technically be the debut episode of Ariel, Bailey, Alex, and Lucas, Amy's little cousin brothers, but the girls will actually meet the latter two in their birthday episode, which that kind of implies to me that they're going to appear in the episode, but they're not going to feature. I mean, admittedly, having babies at a funeral is a choice, and it's not very often that kids will, young kids will attend funerals to begin with, at least in my experience. So that I can sort of see why they might not be involved. But other than that, I'd be confused to why they were left out of meeting the people. Then again, who knows how old they really are? This is Disco Pops. Anyone's any age, apparently. Okay. Let's see. So in this hashtag Blast from the Past, so I guess Blast from the Past is like this whole mini series, I guess, at this point. Jessica learns the heartbreaking news that her grandfather Gabriel died after making his wish to be with his wife. Most of the notes are community tab, but one thing to add is that you'll finally know what happened to Kim and Camilla's father. Okay. The notes of voice I read before. And 3, what the priest says in the funeral is similar to what the priest says in Michael's funeral in GTA 5, but sort of paraphrased differently, so they're sort of not direct copy and pasted from the script. Never before did I think that I would ever see a combination between between Miraculous Ladybug and GTA 5. What a world we live in. I'm actually very intrigued by that. Okay. Now we've covered that. How's my phone doing? Let's see. So I can actually see what you lot are sending me. Otherwise, I have to read the chat from back here. I'm just gonna like retreat here to read the chat sometimes. That'll work, obviously. I just saw myself supersonic whiz through in like with a weird Okay. God, this is an 8%. This is pathetic. Okay. Reading the chat from back here, and then we'll get started, and then I'll come back after to charge a bit more. So let's see. In answer to how to fictional characters' deaths, Ghostku said, depends if they're a good person or a bad person, but if I got attached to them or not. There's nothing like Attack on Titan, so I got attached to villains like my character Angelica. And KW says, yeah, apple juice. It is apple juice. This feels like we're under one of those lights above an operation table. Hey, you never know. It's better than the... I think they've used this kind of... Oh, wait, no, it's because it's kind of lighting for, like, Gestapo interviews. No, they haven't. It was newsy directly at your face. Fun fact, that's why the TV show Mastermind is lit the way that it is. Confusion. Check out my sport llama plush. I got to go a giant teddy bear. How much comfort do I need? And Kevin says, both get both. Ghosty says, let me know how booze. I am not drinking. It's apple juice, okay? Why am I shouting? I'm going through my microphone. It's apple juice. I swear. Just because you and I have played a drinking game in the past, and I also didn't drink alcohol in that one. Anyway, technicalities. Okay, I will let Ghosty in, and hopefully that will be a little bit less of me rambling for 24 minutes now. Jeez. Okay, we need to get started. You lot are here for the video, and that is what you shall receive. Oh, I got a message from KW as well. Wonder if she wants in too. Let's see. Do you need someone to read the chat? Maybe. KW is offering to be my my eyes and ears, or not really my ears, my eyes, just my eyes. Which I reiterate are fine if you've seen Walking Wednesday today. Okay, while those two show up, I will now put the video on screen. There's a section for presentations now on here, which is probably better format. Oh, okay. I thought there was like a glitch or something when I paused it and I saw that, and I saw it was like a blotch in the screen. It's like, did it load correctly? But no, that's just part of the video, which is a very fast transition for the actual for the music that is playing in the background right now. You think like a little bit of slower edits, but anyway. You know, I definitely needed that, but mostly because I've been talking for 26 minutes nonstop. So let's get someone else in that will help take the edge off things. Hello, Ghosty.
Speaking of taking the edge off,
yeah,
I saw this was a Pops review. So I went to go get the Chardonnay.
Okay, not that we can really see, but yeah. Oh, there you go. All right, now I can.
It is.
Yes, everyone featured in this stream is over 18 or of legal drinking age wherever they happen to live, which is.
I am legal drinking age in the U.S., which is. I am 23, even though I don't look it. Speaking of my age, for some reason I could buy this alcohol.
Hold on, how are you 23? You're older than I am.
No, I'm 24. Sorry about that.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
It was like, yeah, my brain had a moment there for a second.
How much have you had already?
Nothing.
I haven't started the video.
I just opened the bottle.
You opened the bottle, took a whiff, and forgot how to count. That's not a good sign.
But anyway, the macchiato, I also have apple and grape sparkling water. And I mixed them
Oh,
together to create this horrible masterpiece.
I,
Anyway,
I I love sparkling apple as well. That's like my go-to celebration juice as well. Like whenever there's like a thing people are celebrating, where they pop out the champagne or something, I have like sparkling apple. That's my alternative.
like it's gold medal sparkling apple grape.
Oh,
It
okay.
tastes pretty interesting on its own, but now I have a concoction from the deepest pits of Hasbin Hotel.
Oh dear. Has that has Husk been has been brewing something in like the storage room or something? I have very limited knowledge on Hasbin Hotel, but that seems like something that Husk would do specifically.
I know. I'm just saying Hasbin Hotel because I can't say the place
Uh,
where it
yeah,
takes
yeah,
place.
yeah. Fair enough.
People hear the words Hasbin Hotel and they already understand.
Yeah.
Now let's get
Has been hotel homemade hooch. That's the new that's the new. We have blowout deals at the Has Been Hotel for homebrew hooch. I do a better Alistair impression, but this room echoes a lot, so I'm not going to try.
And because I'm not allowed to drink if I ever wanted to, I'm not in the mood to grab soda despite having 2 cases of soda next to me. No, it's just, I swore off the pops after that one time. It made me really angry. So I thought, hey, if I'm going to be watching the pops, I might as well enjoy myself.
That is fair. All right. Well, let's enjoy ourselves then.
So,
Merely,
let's
yeah,
enjoy ourselves and watch some disco pops. I
yep.
need
At
to
nearly
refill
half an
this
hour
glass
of
more than. If I need to refill this glass more than once, we have a problem. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, yeah. Without further ado, on with the
On with
review.
the review. That was actually a neat transition.
It was a bit fast because some of the music would have to play after it, but other than that, yeah.
What was that?
I said it. I felt like it was a bit fast based on the transition, like the music. The transition
Right.
was much more energetic than that.
It was a bit fast, and personally, I would have had the music fade in a bit more slowly.
Yeah, true. I'm not sure if Johnny does, fades in or just like cuts the music. Actually. Anyway, I got the door girls, or based on the grammar in there, I got the door girls. Anyway.
Well, we have a girl at the door, or what is supposed to be a woman. Why is she smaller than the door?
Because scaling in Gacha is sometimes non-existent in certain video formats. It's also like always weird for me to see Ladybug entering somewhere not through like a window or a roof or something. Because normally when she makes appearances, like like a balcony, a window, like that kind of thing,
Yeah,
like just coming through the door.
a balcony or window is what you would expect from a superhero, but no, she's just going whole hog and coming in through like the front gate.
It does kind of remind me of the scene in Spider-Man 2 where he just temporarily starts to lose his powers, so he just goes down like an elevator and just has to deal with like awkward chit chat and lift music and all that. I mean, then again, Ladybug is basically Spider-Man in broad terms, so and yeah, that sort of makes sense.
Like Spider-Man in broad terms, except not as entertaining and without as much history.
Oh, well, not as much. Well, yeah, not as much history, obviously. Not as entertaining, in different ways. Anyway, hey, Amy. Oh, hey, Ladybug. Is everything okay? Oh, okay. Well, I got some good news and some bad news. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think I know where this is going because the episode is where Amy finds out about what's happened to Gabriel. How? But just the idea, like, imagine where you think this conversation is going, and imagine starting said conversation with the words, I got some good news and some bad news. Oh no. What's the good news? No. You never start with the good news. You start with the bad news, so the good news alleviates you. Even though in this case, you have to go to the bad news because that's the point of the episode.
I'm just distracted. Like, this was edited in KindMaster. So, um, I'm just distracted by the proportions of Ladybug to the door she's standing next to. She looks like a child.
Well, funny you should mention that. You weren't here for last episode, where we apparently find out that for some reason in this canon, Jonny has made it so even though the characters actually are like adults, at least the Rex Magus ones, so they can use the exact same character designs. Apparently, all the Miraculous holders just straight up just didn't age physically. So they still look like themselves as teenagers and wear the exact same clothes.
Woo! There's a lot to unpack there.
Exactly. And you know the best part is this is like an adaptation of Strikeback. You know, one of the episodes where Felix, a non-miraculous holder, pretends to be Adrien. So how does that work? He wouldn't look the same anymore because he would have aged and Adrien hadn't.
That brings, as Torbeck would say, that brings up more questions than answers.
Torbeck's getting overwhelmed. Anyway, well, we were able to get the Miraculous back from Monarch. He said not over my cold dead body, and we took that literally. Does that mean Mum and Dad are Rena and Carapace again? I mean, they kind of don't have to be, really, because if Monarch's gone, then there's no real reason for them to still be superheroes, or, you know, for the Miraculous to still be out in the world. That was the whole point, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Lyoko Warriors being like, yeah, let's ditch this computer thing and let's be actual superheroes.
No, well, their case it was like, let's be regular teenagers. If they became actual superheroes, oh god, now I want like an alternate universe where after they turn up the supercomputer, they just happen to pick up the Miraculous as well. like
all of them are walking out of the factory, find Miraculouses, and all of them look at each other like, oh no, not again.
No, just that they're walking up the factory off. They just got the supercomputer. They're saying like what they're going to do from this point onwards. They get to like the bridge of the factory, and Master Fu is standing there. It's like, you've been chosen. Like, no, we haven't. Like, get out. Go away.
And they're like looking at each other like, oh no, not again. Because we all know after what they've been through, the Lyoko Warriors have too much of a sense of justice to really stop.
Yeah, they do, but they also need a break. Anyway, so apparently they're back to being all right. Oh yeah, which incidentally that was the whole reason that like Strikeback was chosen as the Strikeback sadness things, because it was Amy reacting to how sad it was that that Alia had to renounce Trix and stop being Rena Rouge. So that was like the supposed to be the big emotional pull of the Disco Pops episode. Not that should have been the focus for a number of reasons, but it was.
Does that mean that the adults in our cast can age now?
Well, they can't anymore because they're back to being Miraculous holders. So, I guess they aged however long season 5 was of Miraculous. Like they aged, I don't know, a week, a month. It was hard to tell the passage of time actually.
That is always a Miraculous canon.
A little bit, yeah. Anyway, wait, but what's the bad news? I'm not supposed to tell Cat Noir this, and I don't want Jess to know either. But you are allowed to know.
Oh yes, you, child. Get ready for me to lay down upon you some bad news.
Right. I need to load an image. Let's see. I need to check something. Okay, so we're not supposed to let Cat Noir or Jess know, because obviously, because Cat Noir, wouldn't want to know, and Jess is Cat Noir's daughter, so it's their father and grandfather respectively that would not be able to be aware of this. So let me just check the image here. It's like, oh, well, would you look at that? It's pretty sure that's Jess behind me in the thumbnail.
Also, can I mention for a second that everyone except for like Jess and one other person has the same facial expression and they're in the same pose.
Oh yeah, no, the
All of
classic,
them are
the
looking
classic,
slightly concerned.
the classic Johnny bus cue is very evident right now.
The bus cue.
I am surprised, however, that like the people that attended the funeral of famous fashion designer Gabriel Agreste consist of the entire extended Césaire family, presumably his revived wife Emily, and not his son. Where is Adrien in that
Where's
image?
Adrien? I don't know.
Not to mention, where are the Surugis as well? If anyone's going to attend Gabriel's funeral, I thought it would have been them specifically. Oh wait, no, wait a minute. Maybe hold on a second. That actually could be. I forgot what the name of Emily's twin sister was. That could actually be her. Although, considering the whole point was to bring Emily back, you'd think it would be her in this case, but I don't know.
I personally think it's the twin sister because why would Gabriel sacrifice himself to revive Emily?
That was the whole point. Have you not seen the end of season 5?
No. To be honest, I stopped after season 3.
Oh, okay. So most of what I've said up until this video has been complete garbage, nonsense to you.
Can I explain? Let's see if the media explains.
Was that a comment from Johnny? I need to let's see how my phone's doing. Is my charge a bit better so I can read the chat?
Ghost Kitty. Never thought I would do this to Ladybug, but red flag. Just feels right now.
Well, I mean, I feel like Ladybug has, accumulated a few red flags over the actual canon of the series.
Little Fox Puppeteer. The idea honestly makes me think of the Beaver Lady from Demon Slayer.
I didn't watch that far. Speaking of not watching that far, I will just say right now that you missed out on the 2 best seasons of the series of Miraculous. I think because season 4 specifically was what really got me into the series. I'd seen like a few episodes beforehand, but like I saw the season 4 premiere, and I was like, okay, this is something else here. Mainly because it made me think of Spider-Man, but that's beside the point.
Who knows? If I get drunk during this stream, I might binge it.
You know what? Sure, that'll work. Just as soon as I invite Johnny on, my mouse has been off this entire time. All right, there you are. Okie dokie. Because if Johnny's having to join to explain, that's also something.
Also, Little Fox Puppeteer in chat earlier said door-shaped portals, :0, or a shocked face. And Ghost Kitty said, ooh, yes, Fox, excellent idea.
And KW said, not Has Been Hotel. What's wrong with Has Been Hotel? I don't know. Anyway, Johnny's here. Oh, and he also
Hey, guys.
What is this?
I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm doing this on my phone, so yeah.
I'm not surprised. I feel like that's normally you're in a corner somewhere as well.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, so first of all, the blonde girl in the thumbnail, that is actually Polly, not one of the 2. That's actually Polly. That's
okay.
Jess's big sister, Polly. So
right.
Now, I'm just trying to think what the question was. Like,
So both of the granddaughters are there, but not the son. I mean, there's a nice little thumbnail picture. I was just surprised that it didn't feature the man himself.
yeah, that's because in the season 5 finale, Gabriel made Marinette promise not to tell Adrien that he was
I
going to make
mean,
his wish.
I mean, he's gonna know. I mean, he might not know about the wish necessarily, but he's gonna notice he's dead eventually. Just by virtue of living in the same house.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he's going to talk about the wish here and not the circumstances of his death. Even though now that I think about it, if I were Adrien at the end of that, I'd be very, very suspicious because I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I defeated Hawkmoth. He's not here anymore. The Monarch is gone. Also, on an unrelated note, your father is dead." Like, I mean,
On an unrelated note, how do you feel about having a new mother and no father?
And bonus, your new mother is your old mother. Anyway. It's about her grandfather. Did he make his wish and is now dead? Okay, wait, so...
That's borderline omniscient knowledge that you're not...
Yeah.
Borderline omniscient knowledge that you're not supposed to know.
Yeah,
what?
How many people knew about the wish in universe? I don't think. Then again, it seems like Gabriel was actually extremely...
and Marinette, I believe.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Like, I guess Master Fu technically as well would have put together. Whatever. So, and the Kwamis. Details. So, but in this universe, it does seem like Gabriel was extremely candid with at least his grandchildren, because it's, or at least like his grandchildren's immediate friends. Because I remember when Amy like rushes over to see Gabriel right after the events of Strikeback, after he seizes the Miraculous, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, no, I have those. Yep, they are currently in my possession. I have kidnapped them, but don't worry, you can see them. I'll not give them back or anything. I'm not that nice, but I'm a decent enough person to say, I'll admit."
If in this season 5 finale they technically made Gabriel a good guy, I kind of have to pay respect to that. Okay, if the creators want to make him a good guy, then what am I supposed to do?
Well, okay. See, I don't know if I was necessarily call him a good guy. What? Because the thing is, like, the expression "everyone's the hero of their own story."
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. He was a person who, he had an altruistic purpose, and that was consistent throughout the series. That wasn't like a season 5 original. That was a thing he wanted to do from the beginning. So he had, in his view, a good reason for doing what he did. He just went to immense extremes in order to do it. That's what all the villains do, by the way. They go too far, and they end up doing more harm than good in pursuit of their own goals. And that's what makes them the antagonist in the hero story in this case. That's mainly what it was. So it was like a change of mind. It was like, oh yeah, no, he is now a good guy. He always was a good guy to himself, just not everyone else.
Unless you're dealing with one of those straight up unapologetically evil villains.
Oh yeah, like classic Disney.
They know they're not the villain. Then they know they're not the hero. In fact, they relish the idea they're not.
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on a second. Ghost Kid in the chat says, "Excuse me, to copy Jacob drinks water." What?
As I'm going to say from back in the day, the Lion Gate streams. What?
Oh gosh.
Wait. I understand, but also I don't, because I haven't seen that much of Miraculous. No offense, but I am not a Miraculous.
Hey, none taken.
Yeah. Honestly, see how you feel after season 4. Okay, I honestly don't remember. Ghost Kitty says, I honestly don't remember hardly anything at all about Miraculous besides the Illustrator episode from season 1 because Nathaniel's best boy. Yes, I'm biased because us artists got to stick together. Surprisingly, Nathaniel and Marinette never collabed on anything. That was a missed opportunity. But anyway,
I thought that it was implied that they did.
Well, I mean, eventually Marinette found him a different collaborator, and that was a much more permanent
affair.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I haven't seen much about Miraculous either, says Fox Puppeteer, except for a small compilation of Chloe's that randomly popped up in my recommendations one day. What a way to begin. There are worse ways to get introduced to Miraculous, admittedly, but that one is also not that good.
Like, I saw a video talking about how Marionette was not a good protagonist.
That is also one of the worst ways to get introduced to it.
So I didn't watch the video, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch Miraculous myself and see. And then I figured out that Marionette is kind of a creepy stalker in the first couple of seasons, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I do see what they were trying to do there with, like, you know, something to give her like a very intense flaw to at least, you know, to work through, and also to like hold her off from, you know, confessing her feelings outright because, of course. But yeah, this is why again I say later seasons, because the early seasons, yes, there are some. Most of the rough stuff is from there. Not all of them, because never forget the statue scene, but a lot of it is in the first one. So yeah, I am. I am not crazy. I know what people are talking about, but yeah, I've been considering for a long time making like an episode by episode breakdown of Miraculous for some time. More and more, it's looking like that's going to be like a major project within like, you know, like maybe next year or something.
Maybe because it's still going to drag you kicking and screaming through My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Yes, I tried to stop him, but he made the wish to be with his wife. I thought it was to bring her back.
Yes, I tried to stop him, but he made his wish to be with his wife.
Yes, about that. So, you know, okay, I know Jacob. Wait, Jacob, have you seen the season 5 finale?
I saw it a while ago, so I might have forgotten the wording.
Okay, so you know that blonde girl that was sitting next to Natalie?
Yes.
Well, the producers confirmed that it wasn't Emily. It was actually Amelie.
Fantastic, of course.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing as well. Like a lot of like videos breaking down the bad parts of Miraculous always talk about like behind the scenes stuff, things like the producers or the directors have done or something like that, or I don't know, the American branch of Zagtoon or yada yada. That's another thing I'm going to try and do if I do my breakdown, just not mention those like as few times as possible. I have one tangent planned about the director's self-insert, and that's it. But yeah, fair enough. Like, yeah, because if you do listen to stuff like, oh god, this is going to ruin stuff. Yeah.
We do love when producers clarify details off screen.
Naturally, especially ones where, you know, that would cause like would be a source of speculation in between seasons, because Lord help anyone who has questions and wants to, you know, engage in discourse about this matter for some time until the next season. Dare I say that would be intriguing and, you know, keep the fandom alive and talking and theorizing in between the gap of seasons, but no, I guess not. Anyway, KW's here.
Anyway, I have finished my first cup of macchiato and apple grape.
Oh yeah, mine's empty too. Yeah, hold on a second.
KW.
Hold on a second. You know what? I've got an idea. I'll be right back.
I'm going to be honest. When this episode first came out, I watched halfway through it and just stopped. I did not finish.
Yeah, you could be honest with me. I can take it.
This is not a good episode. I'm sorry.
No, I feel like if it makes you guys feel any better, I am working on episode 2 of Eurovision Pops.
Oh, it does. He does. I love that series. Anyway, here you go. Proof that it's apple juice. Manzana, apple. There you go.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here holding a product of Italy from Cupcake Vineyards, macchiato. Funny story about this, actually. When I was checking out in Walmart, the cashier didn't even ask for my ID.
There comes a time in everyone's life where they don't, where someone doesn't ask their for their ID for the first time. It's like, huh, what's that? What are you saying
but I am the most baby-faced 24-year-old I've ever known. Usually, I'm carded everywhere I go, but this one time. Anyway.
Like the time where YouTube thinks I am a toddler and decided that I cannot be on YouTube while live streaming?
You mean all 3 times that's happened, yeah.
What time?
Oh. Also, Ghost Kitty is very correct. Bunnix is going to be upset about this one. Yeah, Bunnix spent so much time trying to keep the timeline consistent, and then this happened. Poor Bunnix. Anyway. And that's not that, but every time I hear Marionette's name, especially when Ghost my brain music goes to Marionette, that's because Ghosty keeps saying Marionette. Now just imagine
that's because I can't pronounce her name correctly.
I mean, you're technically just saying too many letters. That's all. That's the only issue. Anyway, this also sounds like an interesting villain concept. Like I could be puppet villain. Pretty sure they did have that in an episode. But then again, also Monet thought the same thing. I am the puppet master. It is I who controls it all. Anyway, that's never. You're never gonna see that character. That character got cut from the movie. Unfortunately. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give myself a name by thinking of marionette villains. maybe that who the door girls can go up against.
Here's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I would just have a hard time pronouncing names too. Like, how do you think I pronounce Hugh Jackman? Hugh Jackman.
I mean, that sounds okay, just like kind of overemphasizing it.
I just call him Hugh Jackman. And I think actually one time me and Baby Bird were just talking or whatever, and I said Hugh Jackman, and she was just started laughing. I'm like, what? I'm like, I just love the way you talk.
I got that too at like one of my first experiences at university was when we were talking about I think we were talking about something to do with Spain, fittingly enough, and for some reason there was a mention of like someone asked me, I think, like where I'd been in Spain, specifically like where I had actually seen, and one of the places that I had seen is a city that everyone pronounces as Barcelona, but I say Barcelona because that's how you say it here. And that became a thing. It's like, I'm sorry, say that again. It's like, Barcelona, that's what you say. It's like, oh, well, it's going to be a thing now, isn't it? And it was a thing for a while. I memed myself several times in the first week of university. But hey, I made a bunch of friends doing that, so I guess it worked.
Ooh.
There you go. Want to make friends? Meme yourself. That's my advice. Okay. Mad Marionette. I'll be honest, like, the idea of like a consistent, like villain who uses puppets and some kind of brings puppets to life, potentially controlling them from somewhere else, like a different layer, but like a manifestation of them terrorizes the city or something like that. That's like I guess like an alternative idea of like like a similar premise to Hawkmoth in a sense, but without having to involve civilians or anything apart from the destruction, obviously. Anyway, Jess is not going to like this.
No.
Meanwhile,
Casually, she says that. Not gonna like what, Amy? What?
Yes. If this isn't a good time to take a sip.
Yes. Oh, hello. Yes. Hello, mother. You said you didn't. I heard you say something about me not wanting to hear something. What is it? Didn't want me to hear? Tell me.
Don't realize there should have been like a sneeze, like someone mentioning me. Oh hi, Ladybug. Did you mention my name or something?
We just hear like an off-screen sneeze or something. It's like, oh no, she's here. She's here. Hide.
Exactly my thoughts, Jacob.
Fox Puppeteer says Ollie Melancholy. That is an amazing name. I love that.
Whoa.
Oh, nothing, Jess. Just Amy. You're acting super sus right now. I don't know why I said it like that, but I'm keeping this idea. Also, why is my mum, I mean Ladybug here, who you definitely know is my mum by this point already, but, or do you? I don't know,
No,
actually.
you definitely know is my
Oh,
mom.
this is a flashback, isn't it? Yeah, so... Well, I guess there's no way to sugarcoat this. Jess, your grandfather, Gabriel, is... He died? By the way, I love how, like, Johnny has consistently used the exact same gasping sound effect for, like, every single gasp since the dawn of time.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm sorry about that.
I don't know, it's fine. Sometimes I reuse sound effects, just, I don't know, pitch it down if possible, so it doesn't
It's because
sound
it's
so
only because
messed up.
this time. It's only because in this context it seems a little bit goofier than it's supposed to be. Normally it works.
Normally it works, but not this time.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
also
okay. One
don't
positive is first like, oh my goodness! Almost
Oh,
about my mum and dad's
no.
experience again. Yeah, your grandfather is dead, but hey, my family's doing A-okay. Things are coming up, Amy. Let's go.
Also, I'm gonna mention this offhand. It probably doesn't matter. Why would you go to the friend of the family member who just lost the family member instead of going directly to the source and telling the fam?
Because remember, Jess wasn't supposed to know. Like, apparently.
Then, I don't know, check to see that Jess isn't there before spilling the beans?
I will say this isn't out of character for Marinette to do, but yeah. It's
Okay.
Sitting there
it's
like,
kind of like I
"Screw
think I remember something happened where she was trying to tell Alia something. She said like you can't tell anyone, not even Nino, and then Nino shows up. It's like it's not. I think that's what happened.
No,
Anyway.
it basically Marinette was like, you can't tell Nino you can't tell Nino though you're secretly being reinferative, and then it just cuts to Alia hanging out with Nino.
Yeah. That okay, there we go. Of course. Anyway, Ollie Melancholy, the most depressed villain. He's the character who's constantly tired. Like, yeah, now we got a 5 minutes take a nap here on the ground. That's Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town, isn't it? That's
Don't ask. That song is ingrained into my head from years of memery.
Yeah. Well, you see, Lazy Town, aired quite consistently on Clan before that. So, yeah. So I was more than aware of the show before all the memes.
I did actually.
Spanish, but
I watched it when I was a kid, and then memes just made it resurge.
Yeah. Fun fact. The voice of Stingy in Lazy Town in the Spanish dub is also the voice of Ulrich and Ash Ketchum.
Oh.
Okay, that's a mental image I can't unsee.
No, I do not know how to feel about that. Thanks a lot, Jacob. Thanks a lot. My emotions are going crazily because they're like, how do I feel about this? I don't know.
It's because like that guy particularly has like one of the most recognizable voices in Spanish dub history. So yeah, that's
The only thing I was just going to say that recently I got like a reel on Instagram showing the Spartacus how he like did things before, you know, the show, like showing his like moves and stuff like that, and to show him during the show that he is still able to do those moves, and then 2023 in most recent years he can still do it. Like he works out like a boss.
Yeah, that sounds that sounds about right.
I'm
So
just
I'll be perfectly honest. Like half his time on screen was just doing, was just doing like different stunts or something. Like the fact that he couldn't stay still. It was in character, but it was like, okay, right, we're in the middle of a conversation, Sporticus. Can we like tone it down, please? Like, oh no, you're doing a backflip again. Yep, okay, all right.
No, I even need
Under
to
attack. Let's go.
I need to be flipping in an awesome pose, particularly this marketable pose in particular.
Of course.
Hold on, Ghost K, you have no idea what Lazy Town is?
Don't worry, I will send her the first season of Lazy Town because that is on YouTube. I will do that right now.
I did not know that. I don't know.
Like,
I probably wouldn't be able to watch it without it being in Spanish. So yeah, that's
wouldn't it be fun if we all sat down and watched Lazy Town?
Oh my goodness. We're gonna go through all of my childhood shows that you also watched and just have me watch them all in English.
But anyway, let's get back to
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. You know, Grandpa cared about me and my sister's aims. That was never in question. She didn't say that. She didn't say anything about him not caring. And in fact, it was pretty evident from last episode that he did care about them. So why is this coming up right now?
you know, this is an upsetting moment. But Ames looks really happy about it.
I mean,
She's
hey,
kinda-
look, you know,
she's just
her parents are superheroes
comforting.
again. She's really
kinda comforting. She's kinda comforting.
Like this is like no offense, but this is a comforting fail.
You know, again, none taken.
Like none taken.
Yeah,
Normally
none
when
taken.
None taken. But normally when you're trying to comfort someone who just, you know, went through a loss, you justify their feelings and help them work through them. You know, rather than affirming that, hey, you just lost a family member, but my life is great.
My life is fantastic.
I'm sorry you're sad right now, but I got a promotion at work and I'm doing fine.
I'm really sorry, Jess. Yeah, this is more of a normal reaction, yeah. Just leave me alone.
Bye bye bye.
So I'm guessing his funeral is coming up soon? Not necessarily, actually. It's not to take a long time to plan.
Okay, so a family member just dies. You're happy about it.
So is there gonna be a funeral? Wow.
Ghost Kitty says, wow, slow your cinnamon rolls, Jess. As Bond says, roses are red, cacti are prickly, holy moly, they're escalated quickly.
Like, normally after the loss of a family member, the family would be given some time to grieve, maybe process the loss, and then think about the funeral.
You know, actually, one of the recent episodes I watch of This Is Us because that's my mom's favorite show, so she's been like watching it with us. So, of course, a certain character passed away. I'm not saying which or anything like that because I do not want to give out spoilers, but a character passed away, and what he did it was told these two girls to basically make his memorial fun. Like, he's like, make jokes, have fun, stuff like that. Do not make it sad because I know the adults will make it sad. Please cherish our memories and stuff like that. Let's have fun. And I'm like, that is literally an awesome idea. Like, yes, be sad and everything, but also, have fun. Remember the memories of the good times and stuff like that. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I have heard that a lot internally. That like people say like this person wouldn't want us to be sad, so we're gonna have a party or something like that. But yeah, when it does happen, yeah, that's it's definitely a bold move because some people will view that as being tone deaf. Depends on like the actual people, but then again, it's not their funeral, so who cares?
Like, at that point, it's not a funeral. Like, it's a distinctive other thing called a celebration of life.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, yeah. With like actual funerals, there's like normally like a particular process or something. Then again, then again, for my nan's funeral, we kind of just like took over the process and just did mostly our own thing. But so
Gabriel Agrest pins me as the type to have in his will to have a really bougie funeral.
This is true, yes. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. Speaking of bougie, that sounds because bougie sounds like bourgeois. I just realized the bourgeois are not at the funeral either. I guess.
Oh God!
I'm very surprised. No one in Gabriel's like immediate sphere of influence was like remotely involved with his funeral. Which like, what? Anyway. Yeah, it's just gonna be me, your family, and my daughters though. But wait, hold on. He just died. How did you get to decide that? You hadn't even told his own son yet. Who's planning this?
Wow. Oh, poor.
Like, hold on. Did Natalie say something? Like, what?
Okay.
Bye, Fox.
I have a question.
Bye.
Marionette, did you plan his funeral in advance?
On the way here, she's just seen him make the wish, and she's like on the way thinking about the logistics in her head.
No. What happened is that basically she stole Jacob's powers and predicted the future. And so that's how she had planned the funeral.
She saw that no one else showed up. Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to fix this.
Yeah, either that or like Bunnix came in and said, no, it must be these people, no one else who can be here, and she's like abducts them through time or something if anyone was trying to show up.
Marionette, did you plan the funeral in advance?
And she's like, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh God!
Classic Marionette.
Also, poor Ghost Kitty. She said, "I'm still being drained, or is this going fast?" I may not remember both of Grandma's passing, but I know it took a while to process. My mom and dad still miss their moms to this day.
Oh yeah, as far as like grieving process, that never truly like goes away completely. But yeah, as far as like the logistics of planning a funeral, yeah, it does take a while. Like with my nan specifically, it was like a month where they couldn't even like get a death certificate, so we weren't able to even allow legally to plan anything.
To answer your question, Ghost Kitty, about where Natalie is, I might have forgot to make her.
Oh!
Yes. Yes, this was a big deal.
Jonny,
To the pits with
you're
you.
supposed to say that you went on a trip to Florida.
God, I love how Natalie's whole arc was like how she felt, how she was like underappreciated. This happens now.
Also, I like how I'm just casually getting blasted while watching the pops. Somehow getting blasted is making me appreciate the flaws more. Because I can
I was about to say, this is I will admit this probably is one of my worst blasts from the past, but
oh, not the worst. We've always suffered through that one.
I mean, yeah. Also, it took me a long time to realize that Blast from the Past was like a whole like mini series into itself because I've been branding these incorrectly. I need to go back and make some changes to reviews after this. Anyway. Okay, what about Jess? How are we going to get her to cope with this?
Give her some time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be like immediately.
Well, here's the thing. It took me like maybe 1 to 2 months to cope with the fact that my dad is gone. Like, Like, I still
Yeah.
cry most of the time, but at least I wasn't like crying every single day.
I mean, you don't remember what I was like after my nan passed away, so yeah, that kind of, if you remember that review from that particular era, then yeah,
Oh,
pretty
I
much.
remember that.
And
That took me a long while.
yeah, like during that time was when a lot of the funeral plans were starting to happen. Admittedly, in her case, it probably was a little bit slower than normal, and also given the fact that I would then later go on to realize that what we did was very it was conventional, but it was untraditional at the same time. Like we'd even like we the family did all the officiating and everything. We didn't actually have a priest in the room doing no like hymns or anything. So this is probably gonna be more by the book, especially if it's from a GTA script. But we'll get to that later. Yeah. I'll call Polly and Cassidy. They already know about the death. Wait,
Dang
what?
it, Johnny!
Wait, hold on. If they already know, why did they call them again?
Wait.
What?
Wait, you just told them as if it just happened an hour ago. How do Polly and Cassidy already know the death happened? And you just announced the death had just happened.
I guess they were allowed to know, but their father and sister weren't.
I mean, to be fair, Polly, I forgot to mention, in addition to being a nurse, she's also a therapist in this new timeline. So
that's not where I thought you were going to go with this. I thought you were going to say that she was a nurse, so she performed the autopsy. Then I remembered there wasn't a body because he raised himself. Never mind. Never mind.
I also kind of hate myself because every time I see the name Cassidy, all I can think of Cassidy from Five Nights at Freddy's.
I think of Butch and Cassidy from Pokemon.
Now Buzz.
No, Jacob, why?
Anyway,
because I don't want that for playing on the
Okay.
That association.
Okay. I'm gonna slow this down just a second.
Yep.
So, Ames, along with being the daughter of superheroes, is also omniscient.
That's her power.
And she also doesn't consider other people's feelings before speaking.
That's a flaw.
Boy.
No, wasn't there like a meme?
I mean, we would say that there's vastly overpowered superheroes with insane character flaws, but then again, she is talking to Ladybug currently, so it kind of fits.
I just remember. Oh no, go and go see. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I had. Aside from that, Cassidy and Polly already know about the death that presumably happened a little bit ago. Or just happened. How? And why? Why would you tell Polly and Cassidy and not the father of the deadee or dead
well,
person?
The son of the
yes, the son of
Gabriel. You're trying to say,
yeah,
the deadee.
Listen, why would you tell literally everybody else, but not the son of the deceased?
And one of the granddaughters.
One of the granddaughters.
I think the idea is. I think the idea is that in typical Disco Pop's fashion, it seems like it's like how they would react. Like they would have the biggest emotional reactions, so they need time to, I guess, a specific circumstance in order to be told. I'm not sure.
Like either that or.
Yeah, and as for the Adrien thing, I would just try to contact one of the producers of Miraculous just to figure out why the heck.
Okay, yeah. You bring up a good point there, because one of my lingering questions at the moment between, obviously the gap between seasons, creating mystique and, thinking about stuff, is that we seem to get a lot of stuff that got reset more than you would think, considering what actually was changed about the world, but I'm sure they'll cover that in some sort of detail. But some things did change, and some things stayed the same. But no one seems to really acknowledge too much about them. So it's questionable how much of it got reset in their minds versus what they know actually happened. So
Oh, wait, are you talking about like the season 5 finale or?
yes, so
Okay.
that's like the stuff that's kind of currently inconclusive, unless the producer says something off screen again.
Well, I think like the season 6 trailer kind of got leaked or something like that because I gained like.
Oh god, of
teasers and
course it did.
I don't
I
know
forgot I
really
didn't think about leaked trailers. I have been a fool.
I won't say anything. All I just know is it looks like the animation did get a little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah,
it looks-
they switched over to a new engine.
Yeah, they did. I remember them saying that somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, it's still a little bit like iffy. Like you still can tell it's still like cheap animation like they were originally using, but it's not like.
Hey, look, as long as they stop giving Alia scary close-ups, I'm fine. Alia, who gets the most terrifying close-up. Have you seen the Rena transformation? It's like, Tricks, let's go. It's like, back away a little bit, please.
Oh god.
Oh no, I'm running out of charge again. I need to move back. I need to move back into the darkness from whence I came.
No, okay, so anyway, I was gonna say something before it gets good. I was gonna say I remember this. I think Bond actually turned this into a meme where there was this like meme audio. I don't know what it's from. Where like someone goes, "Do you know what the worst part is? Nobody likes me." And this guy, yeah, oh yeah, that's so sad. But guess who? No one likes. Hey, I forgot the name, but it's like, hey, mama, or something. And he's like, first of all, how dare you? I was just gonna mention that meme because that's what Ames is like, yeah, that's so sad, but guess who no one likes? Hey, Hawkma! First of all, how dare you?
Yeah.
Good timing here.
I was about to say I might like it's I'm sure because you guys know I have my characters like pop in to make them feel like human beings.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
saying
right.
I'm not saying they're gonna be I'm not saying Amy is gonna be offended by all of this. You probably I'll have her understand. I'll have her understand when I'm able to talk to Eli about this. But yeah, she might. I still feel like she might need some comfort after
Wait,
this.
well, hopefully people are better giving her cover than she's giving it to others. But also, why does Eli have to get involved with this? What does Eli got to do with this?
I mean, she's usually the go-to person because she's like the go-to person. I don't know.
Okay. I think she is the one who talks to Amy most in chat, apart from me when I see messages.
I mean, if anything, I could see like Amy just not good at reading people's emotions from time to time. That can happen in real life. I'm not
Oh yeah,
saying
that is a
that's
legitimate character flaw.
yeah. So it's like, that isn't uncommon or anything like that. Just it can work out as long as you figure out how to develop it as a character flaw and stuff like that, and not make it seem like they just do not care at all.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
also,
Ghost
Kitty
Kitty.
asked me. Ghost Kitty asked me a while ago. How far are we into the video? We are 2 minutes and 46 seconds into an 8 minute and 3
What?
second
2
video.
minutes?
Yep.
I must have blacked out.
Hey, look, there's 4 guests. This is what happens.
Yarria's
Anyway.
Mom, Heroes of Pure Heart, a co-production between Cartoon Network Studios and Titmouse. I heard it was some say too much. Ghost Kitty, should I use that audio for something then? Just for fun for you.
Anyway, we're on the glass of apple grape.
This is the worst news I heard since we found out Alia renounced Tricks. She says that like a Family Guy cutaway gag, but I remember the context from last time. Yeah, we probably should have seen like her actual tears or something. That would have been better than like cries and stage
Yeah,
directions.
that's
Okay, here we go. Jess? Jess? Shh. It's okay, I'm here. I've got you. This feels more like a comfort scene of, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct. Ollie is far better
yeah.
at
I
this.
tried to reference the scene in Supernatural Academy where Jessa was comforting Misha after Max found out that Misha was dragon marked.
Oh,
Oh
interesting.
So
yeah.
It,
Okay.
that's something I kind of forgot to mention in the notes
fair enough.
because I wasn't thinking about doing that.
Oh, don't even worry, because if I cover up all the notes that I've taken from pop culture references from Mutant Girl, we'd be here all day.
Oh,
I'd
dinner
be like a
is.
whole paragraph or something just full of like Harvard references or whatever.
I'm just going to say real quick, I have to go. Dinner is ready, so bye-bye.
Okay.
All right then.
Also,
Bye.
it's
Okay,
like,
W.
don't be upset, even though you were the last to find out about the death of our grandparent.
Speaking of Supernatural Academy, I'm surprised they referenced this scene for this moment, and rather than like the time when a character actually did die. But I guess that it works either way. Don't need to understand. Grandpa's gone. It's okay. We know Grandpa meant a lot to you. Kind of reminds me a bit of another after the death of a character actually when Harry goes back into Dumbledore's office and Professor McGonagall was there saying like, I hope you know Professor Dumbledore meant a great deal to him. Yeah. Anyway, and now we have to keep it a secret from Dad. I had. Wait, what? When was that established? Jess ran out before it was established that like Adrien wasn't supposed to know. So
Yes. Everyone here is omniscient.
I guess.
Or, everyone just took a glimpse over Johnny's shoulder and was like, yeah, those are the stage directions, let's go.
Yeah. What another positive thing I will say about Miraculous is that show is the king of dramatic irony, because that's the reason people are smashing their heads at the screen or something like that, being like, this thing needs to happen. Don't you realize what's going on? It's like, no, they don't, because they don't have all the details and they're not allowed to know in certain cases. And other times they just straight up have no idea what's going on. It's either way. Anyway, don't worry, we're gonna have the funeral, and then wait. You're gonna have a funeral today, like immediately? What?
No, later. Like, it's just like, don't worry. We'll have his funeral. I believe I said it 1 week later after Jess found out, and then they'll go for ice cream at Andre's to help cope with the loss.
I'll be honest. If I were Jess right now, I would be asking her to go to Andre's now and also later.
Okay, that would be true.
Yeah. It does make me think, actually. I mean, obviously Andre's whole goal is to make people happier, usually through making them fall in love. That's his idea usually, but yeah, actually, he probably gets quite a few people who have like recently lost someone coming to him for comfort. What he does in that situation. Okay. The day of the funeral.
Okay, so in case you're wondering who's who in terms of the two little boys near Ollie and Nino, the orange one is Lucas, and the green one is Alex, and they are Amy's little twin brothers in the reboot.
Yeah, yes, I remember that you did. You did say that. I remember the community post talking about that, and deciding like different names or if they were going to be twins or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did say this is taking the debut, where the pops will meet them later. I guess by that you mean like not including Amy and Jess in that situation.
Yeah, so basically I'm gonna make their birthday, Alex and Lucas's birthday episode, and that's when Jen and Courtney will technically first meet them.
Okay. When you said birthday originally, I misunderstood what you meant, and I thought you meant like there's like their literal birth episode. Like Amy was like Ali was going to have the twins.
And yes,
And
I
that
would
was
love to
gonna-
see that. I would love to see that.
just
I
like
mean, I
someone giving
could-
birth to like the
I
disco
could
pops
add that in the
soundtrack.
No,
flashback.
don't. You already mishandled a lot of things. I don't
It's
want
like
to see you handle
happy
that.
birthday, happy birthday, you two. Oh, I remember like it was just yesterday. Flashback, harp music. Good times. Okay, now we get the
GTA reference.
we get the GTA reference read by an off-screen priest, I think.
Yeah, that's mainly because I decided to put as much of the Cesare family and Dupin Chain family as possible, and I may have forgotten to include. I just forgot to put a priest here, so you get it via narration.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Cesare family was here to begin with, because I would have thought, like I said before, the bourgeois or the Surugis would have more of a reason to be here than the Cesares. But okay, fine. I have just noticed that you are at capacity for gacha characters. I forgot that like everyone else other than me usually was bound to that limitation. I have transcended this phase of my gacha creation. I'm glad that I've done so.
You have transcended the mortal coil.
I have indeed. Not that I tend to use that too often, because my record of a scene is 15 people on screen at any time, and that was a nightmare. So never again.
Anyway, we're at the funeral and the priest is off screen. What?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna give him Pastor Super Saiyan's voice then. Gabriel may not have died a heroic death, but he was a good man.
No, it doesn't say he was a good man. It says he was a man.
Oh, sorry. I thought the Kaimas logo was blocking it, so I just kind of auto-filled. But he was a man. It's like, I just imagine that the priest was like, Gabriel was a good. He was an okay. He was a man. Everyone loved. Everyone liked. Everyone acknowledged he existed. Anyway, our Lord was crucified with 2 thieves, so perhaps we should not judge.
We should judge. We should judge harshly.
Oh gosh.
No offense, but he does some really heinous stuff in his pursuit towards what he thinks is the best outcome.
Yeah, again, normally I would say that I would say like the dramatic irony thing again. One of Aiden's complaints about the end of the season is that Gabriel, in his mind, seems to get off scot-free. And the reason he says that is because no one seems to really acknowledge the terrible stuff. Like, that's because no one knew it happened. Again, dramatic irony. The characters were in the dark pretty much all the time by Gabriel's own design. So he doesn't get off scot-free as much as, he achieves exactly what he set out to do.
He achieves exactly what he set out to do. But in the meantime, he was the worst parent.
Yeah. I will say, Miraculous is one of the few instances I've seen a piece of fiction pull off that the bad guy wins, but everyone still ends up better off. But yeah. We do know that he will show mercy to our friend Gabriel.
No, he won't.
And now, to play us off with a nice funeral song, is his sometimes occasional acquaintance, Jagged Stone. Yeah!
Okay. Now for these so for the blue and the pink one, the blue one is Bailey and the pink one's Ariel.
Okay.
Where did they come from? Wasn't only a small group
So
of
they
people
were
invited?
also in the so them and Riley were also present at the funeral.
They were hiding.
But yeah, they were like in the back.
Anyway, thank you for coming to Grandpa's funeral.
Oh, I'm getting buzzed already. Oh, geez.
Good. That means you'll be watching season 4. We're sorry for your lost god sister. Interesting they call her god sister, but I guess that does.
Yeah.
establish that.
So one thing I forgot to mention, in addition, so you know how in the original run I had Amy and Jess be sisters?
Yes.
So in the reboot, Marinette and Adrien are Amy's godparents, and Jess is the goddaughter of Alia and Nino.
Fair enough.
So that's why Lucas called her god sister.
Actually, no,
Alright.
that makes sense to me. It's like the daughter of the godparents.
Yeah. I don't know if best friends can even be considered godparent material, but
Well, I mean, if we
I
go
just
by Harry
went with
Potter
it.
logic, then yes, that is exactly what happens. Riddle me this, Johnny. How do you explain this? People are swinging through the airs, and a man who dies with no body has ever recovered, and the world is completely reset. Don't deny that Paris is much greener than before. I don't know exactly what that coordination has, but that was in canon. That is the work of Miraculous Godparents! Anyway. I probably just woke everyone up. Thanks, Lucas. It'll be okay, Jess. I'm sure you'll feel better soon. Not too soon, but eventually. That's really sweet of you, Ariel, but I don't know what it'll be like without Gabriel.
You'll probably be better off.
She might not, but yeah.
Why not? She might not, but everybody else in the vicinity is going to.
Maybe you can go see Kim. She always has to cheer up her friends. Okay, wait, actually, I was ready something. Now, before we get to this point, now that we've seen the whole funeral scene, it wasn't just a thumbnail. Yeah, now I can say it for real. Where on earth is Adrien?
I think I'm trying to think where I would put Adrien. I think he would be at home, like.
Why?
I actually don't have an answer for that. Actually,
I'm just, oh no, I'm just like, like Marinette gets home after this, and then actually no, not even getting home, just like, and it's like waiting outside of the bakery is. Oh wait, no, she wouldn't live there anymore because they were married now. So yeah, Marinette gets home and Adrien's just there's like, I saw the Instagram tag. Everyone was here gathered around this gravestone. Not in funeral clothes, mind you, for some reason, but definitely suspicious.
Okay. The reason why no one was in funeral clothes is because I apparently didn't want to like give them funeral clothes only for them to like it's just to help with like remember it's just to like help with their export codes because or rather, I can like just try to find like to try to not to try to like how do I put this? Like they're trying not to. I'm trying not to like I get I- like I would have done funeral clothes, but I didn't want to like give them like clothes that they're only gonna wear for like one scene and then just immediately go back to their normal clothes.
I mean, they probably would have kept on for this scene, but I see what you mean. I mean, honestly, it kind of seems like the only reason you didn't want the Miraculous characters to age is because that would have involved redesigning them, and you had to keep them to their teen essences for
More
that reason.
like it would have made the timeline. It would have made the timeline like 10 years in the future.
It already was 10 years in the future. The children exist.
You know, unless we ought to bend over backwards and believe that, the children is not made out of genetic material, but in fact wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Oh gosh.
They're all no, they're all just. Well, actually, yeah, timey wimey stuff. Bunnix just brought them from the future, and they just live there now.
Like,
No, but actually, no, their explanations that they're all center monsters.
I understand you wanting. Like, I have a reasonable explanation for you that could have worked better. You wanted to keep the characters to a somewhat iconic state.
Yeah, there you go. There
But-
you go. I just wanted to keep them iconic.
Wanting to keep them iconic makes a bit more sense than them never aging. Because, no offense, but them never aging because they have the miraculous doesn't make any sense if you think about
Hey.
it for any longer than 5 minutes.
Hey, none taken.
Yeah,
None
this
taken.
is why I keep bringing up the Felix thing, because he didn't have a miraculous, so he would have looked like a grown man just masquerading
to
as his
explain
teenage-looking cousin.
To explain the Felix part of the original part, I just forgot. I forgot to add that.
You forgot to make him look older.
No. I forgot to include.
Yeah,
the
Felix wasn't in the
Felix
episode.
scene.
Yeah.
I forgot to include the scene where Marinette tells Adrien that Gabriel has all the miraculous, or rather, I kind of had it, but instead of them finding out through the TV, it's Alia telling the girls that Gabriel has it.
Yeah. So to summarize the Strikeback episode, so it turns out, Ghosty, that they found out the events of Strikeback happened because of the episode itself, which says that Miraculous is a TV show within its own universe as well. So I guess that means in this context that some executives like making a TV show alongside what already happened, and has a bizarre amount of actual knowledge of the stuff people aren't supposed to know. Like the fact that Alia was really furtive to begin with, which was okay.
I'd like to imagine that scenario, but with legally distinct Rena Rouge.
Yeah, potentially. What would that even be? Actually, that's the right question. Just like just a Tanuki instead of a fox. Tanuki turquoise. Tanuki turquoise. That's it. Perfect. There we go.
Legally distinct Rena Rouge.
Oh gosh.
Someone write that down. Okay, but yeah, they watch the episode, and that's when Amy finds out that her mother had to renounce tricks, and that's why it's called Strikeback Sadness. It's the sadness after I think that scene in Strikeback, and yeah, I think because the scene with Felix happens after that scene, so he didn't get to that part of the episode. They kind of just stopped watching the episode by that stage. So I guess they didn't really fill in the blanks like how everyone had those points, which now I think about means they would have known to go to Gabriel in the first place. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's right. Go see Kim now. That's a great idea, Bailey. I'll give her a call
from the. I'll give her a call from the future. What a lovely day in Dystopia.
Yeah. Yeah,
that reminds
again.
me of Has Been Hotel, actually.
Yeah, again, the reason why she has a tiara on is because this was, I believe this was season 5 or season 4 of the original Disco Pop, so that's why she hasn't worn a. That's why she isn't wearing her Queen of Clearshire crown.
Yeah, I mean, this is Blast from the Past, so yeah, I think we covered that in another revival episode, so yeah. Hold on, wasn't there a small episode? Sorry, I saw the last things from Ghost Kid.
Yeah, in Time Tagger, there was a small scene.
Yeah. Okay, so Ghost Kitty in the chat says, "Was that Mr. Crocker? I heard it's been a while since I've watched The Fairly Odd Parents."
Yeah.
That was my attempt at Mr. Crocker. I haven't seen Fairly Odd Parents, but I do know the Mr. Crocker voice because of Quentin Reviews' review of the live action movie, where the actor apparently does an impression that's so indistinguishable. It's like, okay, well, that must be what the character sounds like, so just fill in the blanks. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed, he bumped his head and couldn't get it up. Wow, jeez. Wasn't there a small section of an episode featuring Bunnocks where we get to see an old ladybug and cat noir? Because the episode features an older Bunnocks as well. Remember that little snippets? I think they appeared briefly during that, but yeah, it was mostly about older. It was mostly about like action. Yeah, most of the time when we see Bunnocks is in the older variant because time travel, because Bunnocks hasn't been chosen yet, even though it's painfully obvious whoever it is. But again, like I said before, the show's dramatic irony. That's one of the big strengths of Miraculous Universe: dramatic irony and the rogues gallery of supporting roles. Those are the two big things for me. And I guess Bunnocks is both of those things. Tanuki turquoise. I don't know what we're talking about at this point, but I like how that sounds. It's legally distinct Rena Rouge. Instead of a fox, instead of red, it's Tanuki, but also a color that happens. There's alliteration, so yeah, Tanuki turquoise.
Hey Riley, what's going on?
Hey Kim, Jess is feeling a little sad about her grandfather passing away.
That's the natural reaction to grief, actually. Oh
It
yeah,
is.
Camilla and I saw it on the news. The news?
Well, he was a world famous fashion designer. It would probably make the news of some kind.
Is she okay?
Well, actually, it would make
really.
the news people. Many people knew it happened because, again, it was a bit, yeah. Anyway.
Not really, Kim. Bailey had an idea of taking Jess over to Dystopia for some comfort from you. Is that okay?
Just, Jacob, could you pause for a second? Just
Yeah.
a grammatical thing. It should be not really, comma, Kim.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Not really, Kim. Bailey had an idea of Jess going over to Dystopia for, your love and care.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate ship, as it should be.
The ultimate.
That's a joke.
I will say we don't tend to see too many romances in in the Pops content other than like pre-established relationships. So yeah. Which actually nothing about that's kind of surprising because the OG series, the Totally TV one, had like most of the characters like paired up with somebody. It was like Winx Club in that regard. and in many other ways too, down to the bright outfits.
Of course it's okay. You girls know that you can always come to me if you're sad.
Princess, there's a riot in the streets. The peasants have revolted. Shush, hush. Hush, royal counselor. My friends require my love and care. As I was saying, you can always count on me. And like the rest of the episode, just hear like the sound of like an angry mob outside being completely ignored.
Yeah, I probably should have worded that better.
That's just a result. That's just a revolt from the working class. Don't mind it.
Honestly, Johnny, don't worry about that. That's just me messing around. That's not an actual critique of the video. That's just me being very silly at this point.
It's me being drunk and also eating a burrito.
Yeah, I have not streamed in a week, and I have a lot of like pent up energy, I suppose.
Okay, we'll let Jess know.
It's okay, comma. It's okay, comma, instead of period.
Yeah.
It will let
Well,
us know.
I think it works both ways, actually, because it can be like the punch at the end of a sentence, because it technically could be a sentence on its own, but yeah. 10 minutes later. If anyone's forgotten, the Pops can teleport, so this is not a plot hole. Anyway, it's going to be okay, Jess. We know Kim understands your loss. Although now I think about it, actually, I guess the funeral probably ended after those last 10 minutes because it seems like, well, A, everyone seemed to have left already because the room was empty, but also, and B, it would be very bad for them to leave that place early. Anyway. You must be Jessica. The princess has been expecting you.
I love the accent you do for her.
That's just my consistent maid accent.
Yes, that's me.
I'll take you to her room. She'll meet you there.
Okay.
Ghost Kitty said, to be fair, Tanuki already sounds like a superhero name to me because I think it's I pronounce it as Tanuki, so I'm just picturing a super raccoon or a psychic who uses bombs. Well, the Tanuki suit is a power up from one of the Mario games. I think it's Mario 3. So yeah, they don't go in that direction for it.
Oh, look at that. Now I decided to put tears in. Yay.
Yay! Why did you decide to do it now instead of... Okay.
Instead of cries in asterisks. Yeah. I'm so glad that that tradition mostly is dead now in Gacha, because that was a thing for a long time where it's like, just show the action. Anyway. Hey, Jess.
Hi, Kim.
I take it you're still sad about the loss. The funeral was 10 minutes ago, okay? I need a bit longer than this.
I mean,
5 seconds of grief. Talk about more like 5 seconds of grief.
That sounds like a emo a song from an emo band. 5 seconds of grief.
I'm trying to picture what that sounds like now.
Just an emo ska band on the stage. This one goes out to the disco pops. 5 seconds of grief.
I only cried. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds of grief. 5 seconds of grief. I don't know. I tried. That's the. I tried.
KW pointed out it's no easy feat to overcome a massive loss. Even if she was the only one, even if she was the only aggressor close with Gabriel, which I wholeheartedly believe. It would still affect her for a very long time.
Yeah, in season 5, he did make a bit of progress towards becoming closer to Adrien. But yeah, I guess in this reality he wouldn't have had the chance to because they wouldn't have lived together. So yeah. Yes, obviously. I get struggling with loss is hard. I should know.
Please, don't exposit a personal story to the grieving person.
The music changes to a tragic backstory. The background dims and a
Wait.
spotlight appears on Kim.
Johnny?
It was 5 years ago.
Johnny, please don't tell me that's going to happen.
I don't know if Johnny has ever edited a video to that degree. My father died when Camilla was 10 and I was 6.
8,
That's an
actually.
8, not a 6.
Sorry, my screen is far away from me right now. I'm having to crouch down at this point to read everything. I am. Yeah. Research not doing me any favors. Oh, I forgot to turn the
Every
brightness up.
day. Yes, you're grieving a loss now, and I can see that with my eyes that totally function. But I'm going to exposit to you my personal story as an anecdote to try to get you to feel better. To explain that I sympathize with your loss because I have also lost.
I can understand someone doing this, maybe not on the day that it happens, but I can understand the idea of trying to say I've been through something similar and how do you
Yeah,
deal with it or
that's
something.
kind of
Yeah.
what I was going to go for, was Kim letting Justin that she can relate to her. Plus, it lets you guys know what actually happened to her dad.
It's a good concept, Johnny, but I gotta say, too soon. Too soon.
Yeah.
She literally just teleported here from the funeral, so she shouldn't be getting an antidote. She should be, sitting in bed with a cup of hot cocoa and maybe some hugs from her friends and
Yes,
family.
the good old Sheldon Cooper method, a hot beverage. Oh, it works.
It works.
I'm sorry, Jake. All I could hear was Plague when you do little skits because I have Miraculous on my mind. Oh god.
Maybe it could have been an episode or two of her going through the motions of everything is fine, meanwhile trying to deal with the loss internally. And then we get the story from Kim about her dad dying in a later episode that has nothing to do with the funeral that just happened 10 minutes ago.
I guess, although it is becoming a bit of a cliche at this point in disco pops to have a slumber party aftermath of some kind, or a get together. I guess there aren't that many people this time. It is just Kim in this situation, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, this does seem to be the current emerging pattern, I suppose. Kurski's like, all right, that's it. Who's playing the piano? Maybe that's where Adrien is. Didn't his father make him have piano lessons? Yes, you're correct. He did have piano lessons. There we go. Adrien is in charge of the piano.
It's my dad and I was never particularly that close to died. What am I gonna do about it? I'm just gonna play the piano when my daughter cries in the background.
I mean, you could tell at least from Adrien that he wanted to have a proper relationship with his dad. He was just unable to do so. And that's after that was the Plague comment, which, by the way, how dare you? Plague is the worst character in the series. But
I don't know. I think Plague is top tier. Not top tier. He's mid.
I was going to say, Plague has absolutely zero depth to him. Where, compare him to Tiki, for example, whereas it's where a scene where someone needs advice or support of some kind, Tiki will actually, be on this the same level, try to sympathize with someone, offer actual proper sage wisdom, or if the situation is appropriate, we'll crack a joke or something. Plague is just right. It's just what in this situation I get cheese. Shut up. Just every line of yours. It's not fine.
Also, I
Oh,
gotta
your father won't
say,
let you go anywhere? Well, guess what? Have some cheese. You'll feel better. Bleh.
like, I gotta say, Jacob, that's kind of emblematic of destruction as an aspect. If we
The
view that,
destruction of what the social norms.
no, actually, if we look at it, Plague's selfishness in itself can embody the destruction of one's own sanity. The
Speaking of
destruction,
sanity, Bond showed up.
Oh.
the destruction of everyone else around you in order to be able to prop yourself up.
Hmm.
I think
I
that's
suppose
embodied
that-
by Plague's personality of him not changing at all, being asymptomatic of the aspect he's supposed to be.
I mean, the last person who should be put in a situation where he needs to build himself up is Adrien, quite honestly. But yeah, maybe he wouldn't be so bad if it weren't like paired with a person who actually, you know, mostly needs the support of somebody who's always there for him, rather than somebody who's just like taking something else from him on top of what he's already been going through. It's kind of like the same idea of you know, live action Cinderella. Oh yeah, you're at your worst moment. Here, I'm gonna test you quickly before I reward you again. It's like, what? You just saw everything that happened. What are you doing? Take me to the ball already, please. uh, Bond says, "Go to bed, both of you, crossing the doors for dinner." Are y'all talking about cheese? Because Plague up in the conversation. That sounds like what Plague would say. Yeah. There's a character that Plague doesn't think Goblins know abridged, except this card is actually funny. So, everyone's seen Goblin Slayer Abridged. Lizard Priest is my favorite character in that series, and one of the running gags that he has, one of the many, so it's not just the one aspect of personality here, is that he loves cheese. But it's like, oh yes, I am sure this Goblin Slayer is a deep, multifaceted character like myself. Anyway, who's got more cheese? Which is consistent with the fact that he's been like so hyped up mostly. Like it's the scene where like Grimjack edits him just buried in a pile of cheese. Anyway, Goblin Slayer Bridge is top tier anime, honestly. Anyway. Oh, Jacob's mic go, but okay, hold on. There we go. My microphone is better, and so is my appetite. Anyway. You know I care about you, Jess. As a princess, I care about all of my subjects. Even though you're not from my kingdom and therefore not my subjects. That makes no sense, but what?
Like, it could have been, I can't friends, because subjects just makes it seem like she's a person off the street who came to the princess for advice.
Can you imagine that? Like, my liege, I'm in distress. My grandfather's just died. I'm all alone in the world. It's like, don't worry, random peasant. Please enter my abode. Including my best friend. There we go. Yeah. He made his wish, and I know that comes with a price, but he's happy now. How many people know about the wish?
Okay.
Johnny,
So-
why is everyone in your series an omniscient god all of a sudden?
At this point, this might be embarrassing enough. I'm not saying this to make anyone feel bad. I think I might just cancel Disco Pops. I don't know.
I mean, this is a spin-off, you know, well, sort of a spin-off mini-series, so it's not like the main material. But I think the biggest issue with like people knowing about this is like it's more obvious when it's when you're like, adapting like the source material. That's probably why it seems to be a bit more striking, I suppose, would be the term in this case. Also, Bond says, "Get your tweets ready." he means like pull the plug on the series, not like cancel it on Twitter. There's a difference. But yeah, for the original stuff, it's like a little bit less obvious. But I guess it's probably like one of the writing things to consider in the future is that certain characters do not know certain things. Again, one thing the original show is quite good at. Okay, thanks, Kim. You're welcome.
And
Get out of my house.
Not that. I believe that is actually the end of the episode, I believe.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It's like a couple of episodes. Yeah, like and subscribe. I've noticed that Restream now is a bug for some reason where like the tally, like the second tally goes up to like actually 60. Why did they even program that? I'm surprised that's even a feature. Anyway.
Any
insane. I was
pros
insane.
at all?
Yeah, there are some pros. Like, even though some events are grossly mishandled, there are some bits of dialogue that are actually really clean.
Yeah, while not every character knew how to like support somebody who's going through a loss, some of them did. Others did their best Plague impression, decided it was all about them for some reason. My parents are superheroes again.
Like,
But
and
anyway.
that's kind of true to life when you really think about it. Not everyone knows how to deal with the loss of a family member or friend. And a lot
True.
of people just think in the short term and just don't think about the long term.
Ultimately, the person who had the worst reaction probably was Ladybug, because it's like, I'm going to plan this guy's funeral before I even landed. But yeah. Some of the other people, yeah. Oh.
Go to bed!
Y'all are keeping me away. Just close the tab. I haven't seen a Jacob live stream in days. I must be here. Well, I mean, we are about to finish. We are literally doing the pros and cons right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the pros in this case feels like, well, I mean, like the actual like the sadness feels justified in this case. Like we know why, and then like why the stakes were jumped. And it wasn't like there's like other stakes involved where the sadness was like interrupting anything, which was usually my number one issue with like disco pop episodes like a long time ago.
It's not like that one My Little Pony episode we had where Pinkie Pie was sad, but what seemed like no reason, even though Pinkie Pie is usually the most cheerful character.
Oh yeah. Let's not even talk about that.
I guess I guess that does go into like the aspects of it, you know, like as an adaptation, because that's.
But this time, I agree with Jacob. The sadness is justified and handled well. Like the only thing I have an issue with is Amy. You just heard that your best friend's grandfather has just died, and you're like, "Great, my parents are doing wonderful."
Yeah, that's.
Shinobu, to answer your question, you literally missed the whole episode.
Yeah. Shinobu Kocha just joined the stream right now. Yeah, don't worry, you'll get to rewind in a second. But yeah, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, I like the fact that like the disco pops, they weren't like shoehorned in or anything, because I mean, yeah, of course they wouldn't need to be there. It was like a mostly private affair, even though to some extent I feel like the Césaire family shouldn't have been there either. But I guess in this reality, considering that Amy seemed to also have interacted with Gabriel in past occasions, it seemed like they were much more open and close than I guess would otherwise have appeared. A lot of the I guess you could say like the weird quirks of this episode did kind of come as a result of Strikeback's sadness. So in that sense, they were kind of unavoidable. So I can see, but since they were unavoidable, they were at least handled okay or not dwelt upon. But yeah, I think the rest of the cons probably, I think we have mostly said them already. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much.
I will give another pro. Some of the attempts at comfort were actually pretty valid, except for
Amy.
Princess Spider. It was Amy's, but also the princesses at the end. Like, I would agree with her method because it is valid and it does work. But I gotta say, it's a little too soon.
Yeah. So that was their only issue, was the timing, which I guess would have probably been helped if if the funeral hadn't been like a week later, I suppose. So it's sort of like it goes back to that. When you're responding to certain prompts in an episode, then there's only certain ways you can sort of dig yourself out of them, I suppose. So Gusky says, maybe I've really still drained from certain recent events. Got me.
Jacob, your microphone is fading again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I'll have to listen to it later. Also, Bon, if you missed it because you're watching Amadeus, I understand that. Great movie. Approve of that. Anyway, Gabriel aggressed. I confess, I killed you. Anyway. Well, my mic is dying, and if I don't get to sleep now, so will I probably soon. So gotta do that now. So please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. If you haven't done so already, I'm gonna put the apple juice back in the fridge because it needs to go there. And on that note, until